Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy, number one Panthers fan, back with the mock draft video, as I said I would do. And here we go. This is my first mock draft of 2023. I may do another one before the draft. It depends on what it looks like, what my schedule looks like. But here it is. This is my mock draft, 2023. Let's get it. Okay, starting off with the Chicago Bears. Number one overall pick. It's a good chance they do trade this pick. I know it's the number one pick and it's a lot to ask. But some people might want to trade for this. I still think they do not trade and stay put at number one. Take who I think the best player available is. Will Anderson Jr., the edge rusher out of Alabama. He's got size, speed, athleticism. He's just a great overall player for the Bears. For the Bears to have, and they really need to improve their defense. So this really helps them out. Helps them out there. Now, number two overall, the Houston Texans select Bryce Young, quarterback out of Alabama. It's between him and C.J. Stroud. They have that choice, and I think they choose Bryce Young because they prefer Bryce Young a little bit more. His size is going to be a big factor, but I think he's still probably going to be the first quarterback off the board in this draft. Speaking of which, we have another quarterback off the board here, but we also have a trade here at number 3. The Arizona Cardinals trade the number 3 pick to my Carolina Panthers for the Carolina Panthers first round pick this year, next year, and I believe like a 3rd and 5th round pick from this year as well. A couple of 2nd round picks and a 3rd round pick. Sorry, I think that's what it was. And they go up and draft Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud. He really impressed me in the national semifinals against Georgia. They should have won that game. They just got unlucky and missed that field goal. But Stroud showed me something that I had not really seen out of him before, which is his mobility. Showed a lot of mobility in that game against Georgia. I think that's going to be a big factor in the NFL, and especially with Carolina's O-line. You're going to need a player like Stroud. And plus, I think he's a little bit better of a quarterback than I was debating between him and Anthony Richardson in this spot. Anthony Richardson's a better athletic specimen, but I think Stroud's a better quarterback overall. And speaking of which, number 4 overall, the Indianapolis Colts, they stay put and take Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson. Yeah, there's not much really that needs to be explaining. He's athletic freak for the quarterback position. It's like 6'4", 240. Runs a 4.4 40. Has like a 41-inch vertical. He's got a very strong arm. He's the best quarterback available at this point, which the Colts desperately need. Colts, stop going for veteran quarterbacks. That's not working. Just draft one and rebuild. I think they do that here with Anthony Richardson, since Young and Stroud are off the board. Okay, number 5 overall, the Seattle Seahawks. With this pick, yes, I know he got arrested. Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle out of Georgia. Now he's the best player available at this point. It's that simple. They could take Will Levis here, but I don't see them, or whatever quarterback is available at this point. Maybe there's several to choose from. But this is the best option for Seattle. Yes, there's Tyree Wilson, there's Myles Murphy, there's other type of players that they could use. I think defensive linemen, like interior defensive linemen, is what they need the most, which is why I have them taking Jalen Carter. And number 6 overall, another traded pick, the Detroit Lions, with their first of 2 first-round picks. They take Illinois product Devon Witherspoon. I mean, they just need help in the secondary. He's the best one available. And then number 7 overall, The Las Vegas Raiders do not take a shot at Rodgers or Lamar. I don't think they go after Jimmy G either. I think they maybe they do sign Jimmy G, but I do think they draft Will Levis if he's there at number 7, which in my mock draft he is there, so they take him. If they need Derek Carr's successor, I think he could be a good one. Okay, next with the next pick, the Atlanta Falcons take Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon. Next best defensive product. I think they go with him. And then number 9, the Arizona Cardinals traded back with the Panthers. They select Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech. Best defensive player available, which is what the Cardinals need, an edge rusher. Since J.J. Watt retired and Zach Allen being a free agent, it's going to be a huge focal point for them in free agency in the draft. So I think they go at it here with Wilson. If Will Anderson's not there at 3 for them to take. Now, Philadelphia with the number 10 pick, they could really go anywhere with this pick, but since news just came out today that Darius Slay is on the trade block, I think they take Joey Porter Jr. out of Penn State. He's the best cornerback available after Gonzalez and Witherspoon. He's just a great player. Number 11, Tennessee. They find Taylor Lewan's replacement with Ohio State's Paris Johnson Jr. Number 12 overall, Quentin Johnston. The Houston Texans select Quentin Johnston, wide receiver out of TCU. Dude, just a playmaker. One of the major reasons why TCU made it as far as they did. And they need a receiver to help Bryce Young. Now, with the number 13 pick, the New York Jets select Northwestern tackle Peter Skoronski, best offensive lineman available. Protect what looks like it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, and put yourself in playoff contention. Number 14 overall, the New England Patriots take Jordan Addison. I think he's an amazing playmaker. He's one of the best wide receivers in the nation. I think they take him. And we have another receiver here. The Packers snipe Jackson Smith and Jigba at pick 15. Dude's a baller. He's a baller when he's healthy. That's the one problem with him. He can't stay healthy. You got to be able to stay healthy. I think he could be really good. Now, 16, Washington. They take Broderick Jones out of Georgia. There's not really much to explain here. Washington still has a below-average offensive line, and they need help there. Number 17, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brian Brizzi out of Clemson, defensive tackle. It's simple. They need depth. This is for depth on the D-line. There's not really much O-line here to take. That wouldn't be reaching. So since Jones was just taken, so I'm going to say the Steelers take Brian Brizzi. Now, Detroit's pick, I don't know how this guy stayed this long. Myles Murphy out of Clemson with the 18th overall pick to the Detroit Lions. Now, this is a snipe for Detroit at number 18. 18? Myles Murphy falling to 18. I mean, that's incredible that he fell that far. And if he does, Detroit's lucky to have him. It'll be a great pairing with him and Aiden Hutchinson. And they got Witherspoon earlier, so that'll be a nice young defense to look forward to in 2023. Now we get to the playoff teams. Number 19 overall, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame, tight end. And now this was a very, very problematic position for them in 2022, after Gronk's second retirement. They only had like 1 or 2 touchdowns from their tight ends all year. Cade Otton is not your solution at tight end. I would say quarterback if somehow there's one available, but there isn't. That wouldn't be reaching. No, not Tanner McKee. Okay, Again, another snipe. Seattle, 20th overall. They get another Georgia defender, Nolan Smith. They need help on the D line. They got Jalen Carter earlier. Now shore up the edge. Get Nolan Smith, who ran a 4.440, pretty much like 4.39. Now, number 21 overall, the Los Angeles Chargers. This would be the Dolphins, but they forfeited their first round pick due to other allegations. The Los Angeles Chargers select Zay Flowers, wide receiver out of Boston College. He's just a flat out playmaker, and I think he'd fit great in that Chargers scheme. Kellen Moore as the new OC. Now Baltimore, like, why wouldn't they take a receiver here? Maybe Jalen Hyatt. I think they shore up the defense. I think they go after a receiver in free agency, or maybe in the later rounds of the draft. There could be some gems in the later rounds, I think, with this class. And then Minnesota, Cam Smith out of South Carolina. Just any defense. I think Brian Flores, that's been the best hire of the offseason so far. So get him some more youth in the secondary. We got another corner. The Jaguars are going to release Shaq Griffin, so they get his replacement, Kelee Ringo out of Georgia. I mean, he made a clutch play in the national championship a few years back, or at least a couple years back anyway. And he's the best defensive back available to replace Shaq Griffin. Now for the number 25 overall pick, the New York Giants select Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver out of Tennessee. You see the game against Alabama, game he had against Alabama? That was incredible. And he's a good player. He's fast, a good route runner, and the Giants need help at the position anyways. So I think they take the best player available. The Dallas, they need help with linebackers. They take Arkansas's Drew Sanders. And Buffalo, they get help on the interior of their offensive line with Osiris Torrance out of Florida. And depth. This is simply for depth. Cincinnati, they need depth at tight end, or they could go O-line. But I think they take Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. He's a good playmaker at the position. It could be a good pairing with Hayden Hurst. Now, Houston, at this point, Cameron Jordan's getting old. I mean, not Houston. Why did I say Houston? New Orleans, with the 29th pick they got from the Sean Payton trade from Denver. I think they take Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa, edge rusher. He's a good tackler. Cam Jordan's getting kind of on the old side. Marcus Davenport could easily walk in free agency. They need to shore up that position there if Davenport does leave. Number 30. This is a steal. Eagles, and just in case Miles Sanders walks, I know they like Kenneth Gainwell, but it gives them a powerful option. Bijan Robinson out of Texas with the 30th overall pick. And he's fast, he's strong, powerful. He's good. He's just got all the skills you need to be a good back in this league. And I think Philly snatches him at 30. And then with the final pick of the first round, obviously because the Dolphins forfeited theirs, there's only 31 this year, first round picks in the draft this year. And the Kansas City Chiefs select Anton Harrison out of Oklahoma, offensive tackle, because I don't see them re-signing Orlando Brown. Simply because I don't see them signing Orlando Brown, because he wants a lot. He wants a lot, and I don't think that the Chiefs are willing to give him that much. They just take a much cheaper option, much younger and cheaper option with Harrison at the back of the first round. Okay, that was all for my 2023 NFL Mock Draft 1.0. I may come out with a 2.0. And maybe in the coming days, I might post a free agency video predicting where the top, I'll say 25 or 50 free agents may go, and what kind of deal they might sign. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.